Good morning, everybody. This is play-by-play announcer Jarrett Smith coming to you live at Chansey Park for the sixth and final game of this week for the A's, and it has been a good one. 5-0 for them on the week, and looking to complete the sweep against the Central Valley Expos today. Taking a look at that lineup here, it's going to be Tyson Miller, the center fielder, leading things off. Batting second, George Smith at short. And batting third, Ethan Wood at his familiar first base. Scott Mitchell in the cleanup and left field. Batting fifth, Luke Navad at third. Mikey Ramirez in right field, batting sixth. Hayes Edens is the DH today instead of behind the plate. Instead, Isaac Fernandez will be behind the dish, catching for the pitchers. And, excuse me, and batting ninth is going to be Aiden Perry over at second base. On the mound today, Zach Geis, Stanislaus State. Finishing up warm-ups here. We'll take a look at that Expos lineup in the meantime. Batting first is Bowen. He's in right field. Batting second, Chavez at second. Batting third is Robinson in left field. In the cleanup, the first baseman, Martinez. Fifth, Wallace in center. Sixth, Thornton was the DH. Seventh, Esam DH, or excuse me, third base, batting eighth, Gary at catcher, and Monas at short, rounding things out. All right, so we're ready for some action here. Bowen's digging in, and it is play ball time. First pitch of the game in there for a strike from Geis. Interesting to note, Geis, working from the stretch as opposed to the windup. A 1 pitch on the inside part of the plate, late call, but a strike from the umpire quickly down. 0-2 is Bowen. Taking a peek at Geis's stats, 18 and 2/3 inning pitched, and this is his third start on the year. 20 strikeouts to 9 walks as he throws that one in the dirt, 1-2. All that equating to a 4.33 ERA for the young man. Just mentioned he had 20 on the season. Make that 21. Starts out this game with a strikeout. Bowen going back to the dugout, and that'll bring up Chavez. Touched a lot on it this week, but the heat just keeps on going. Game time temperature in the 80s already to start out, and we'll certainly work our way into the 90s as we get towards the end of this game. Umpire appeals down to first base, says no swing. This is down with that one, 2-0. Comes back with the strike right there. You know, people in stands today for the game, very nice to see. Always encourage and welcome people to come on down to beautiful Chansey Park to watch some Fresno A's. 2-1, swing and a miss. Guy starts out 2-0, works it back even 2-2 now. Looking in the sign, he's got it. Fernandez setting up on the outside part of the plate. 2-2. Did he go? They checked down to first base. Yes, he did. And enthusiasm galore out of the A's dugout after that one as well. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Geis. 2 up, 2 down. Robinson, the left fielder, now digging in. Strike on the first pitch to Robinson. Swing and a miss on the slider. Geis has got it working early on here. One pitch away from 3 up, 3 down here. Again, Fernandez sets up on the outside, perhaps breaking a slider out there. He does. Did he go? They check down to first base. No swing. 1-2. In the dirt, Robinson able to lay off of that one. 2-2. Geis is 2-2. Challenges him down the pipe. Fouled into the screen. Curveball hit out to right field. That's going to be down for a base hit. Tyson Miller runs over from center to field that and throw it in to keep it a single. 2-out single there for Robinson, bringing up the DH Martinez. It's a righty versus lefty matchup now for Geis and Martinez, looking to continue this inning and scratch across some 2-out runs here early on. That pitch misses either low or outside. Decent spot. One zero on the way. Hit foul to the dugout. A couple of peeks over at first. Coming home 1-1. Swung on into the dirt. Nevad on the dive. Throws it over to first in time. Beautiful play from Luke Nevad. Unbelievable. Lays it out. Able to gather it up and throw it over in time. So 2-out base hit there for Robinson, but nothing doing there for the Expos. Nothing. A's coming up with their first at-bats of the game. Back with the bottom of the first, Tyson Miller just smacked a single. Now it's going to be a double. It goes by the left fielder. Miller's going to hold up there. So leadoff double here for the A's, just what they like to start things out in this ball game. Wood, Wood, Woody. So Miller already in scoring position. George Smith now up to bat. We've seen him bat all over the top of the lineup. Today it's going to be the second spot. First pitch to him is a strike. Smith had the day off yesterday. It was good chatting with him behind the comms desk here. 0-1 downstairs, 1-1. '91. Slider breaks too far off the plate, 2-1. This one ripped down the third baseline. It's foul. Smith was certainly going to cash in Miller with that one, but unable to keep it within that foul line, so he'll dig back in 2-2. Pitching on the mound for the Expos is Spaliero. 5 pitches thus far in this afternoon. Ball misses low there. Count's gone full, 3-2. George Smith's teammate Ethan Wood is digging on deck. Smith slices that up the middle. It's in between the shortstop and second baseman. That's a base hit. Miller's going to hold up there at third base. Throw gets in time to keep him at bay. But now runners on the corners. No outs for the A's. Prime opportunity for Ethan Wood to drive in the first runs of this ball game. Watches ball 1 down low. Been a good week for Wood back from that injury. Was playing before the break in the DH role, but now starting full time in the field yet again at first base. Had himself a home run earlier this week. And Smith is trying to go down to second. It gets by them, and here comes Tyson Miller to score. George Smith on his way to third. He's in there in time. And look at that, a little bit of motion on the bases, creating a run there. They throw down, is in the dirt, gets to center field. Tyson Miller in to score. It's 1-0 A's. Calling that pitch was a ball. This one's lifted out to left field. It is a fair ball, says home plate umpire. George Smith is going to cruise in to score, and Ethan Wood settles in with a double. Ethan Wood keeps up the good week with a double there, cashes in the first RBI of this game. And just like that, first two batters of this game have already come to score 2-0 A's. And Scott Mitchell, cleanup hitter, will be coming up now looking to do his duty and drive in Ethan Wood. First pitch, that looked like that's some good run on the two-seamer, breaks in and swing and either a foul tip or a miss, 0-1. So 3 batters, 3 hits already for the A's. Right down the pipe, Mitchell was late on that one, fouls it into the screen, goes down 0-2. Good day for Mitchell. Had 2 base knocks and walked 3 times, it looks like. So he got on base all 5 times he was at bat yesterday. Misses upstairs with that one. Already 2 errors in this inning for the Expos. First one coming on the left fielder misplaying Miller's hit, and the second one being that throwaway into center field. Mitchell fouls this one weakly. Opposite field hit. No, hangs up for the right fielder, able to corral that one and looked like it might have been dropping for a second. But finally, the first out of the inning here. Ethan Wood stays put at second base. So after that first out, Luke Navad digging in now. And we mentioned Ethan Wood having a home run, but Luke Navad had a home run of his own, a grand slam to start out this week's action. That certainly was an exciting moment. Slider breaks away in the dirt. Getting back to yesterday's game, Navad 0 for 3, but did get on base 2 times. One by hit by pitch and one by walking. 1-0 pitch upstairs, leans away from that one a little bit. Shaking his head no a couple times. Now decides on the pitch. Quick peek at Wood, comes home. Just a bit too high in the zone with that one. Time called here by the catcher to go reset with his pitcher after getting down to Navad 3-0 in the count. Fastball's 91. Oh, we feel like they said the sliders to be 91. Valiero comes home. Gets the call on the inside corner, 3-1. Strange call there from the umpire. That befuddled me. It almost looked like he was okay to let Luke Navad walk, but once he was kind of wondering, wait, is it a ball or a strike? That's certainly a ball, so ball 4. Luke Navad will have first base, runners on first and second, but the whole thing there was just so strange. Like, Luke Navad thought he had ball 4. He started going, but he's like, wait a second, is he going to call strike? And umpire's like, wait a second, is he going to walk? And then he just decided to call strike. But Anyways, we can flush that down since Luke Mott's over at first base. Now runners on first and second. Mikey Ramirez coming up to the plate. Looking to continue this inning. Ramirez had the day off yesterday, at least to start, but did come up in to pinch hit in the fifth inning and had himself a single. Oh, on pitch, taken low. Right down the pipe, hit to the first baseman, has to body it up, tosses it over to the pitcher, not in time. Mikey Ramirez legs out an infield single. Good play, honestly, from the first baseman there. It took a bad hop on him, and he blocked it with his upper body, but bounced away a little too far for him to be able to get the toss over to the pitcher in time to get Ramirez. So infield base hit, bases loaded here. 4 hits out of 6 batters for the A's. And there is high potential for things to explode and get out of hand here with Hayes Edens up to bat and only 1 down. First pitch, slider misses away, 1-0. Eden's another player that had the day off, at least from hitting, though. He chops this one to the pitcher. He's going to try and flip it to the catcher at home. It gets away. Here comes Luke Navat going home. He's in. Well, I reckon that's going to be ruled as an error on that one. That was a tough play for the pitcher that made. He did what he thought he could on that one. And it's an errant flip with the glove that gets back to the backstop and causes 2 A's runners to come in to score 4-0 A's. So now runners on the corners with 1 down. Well, scoreboard out in the outfield's going to rule it a hit, so I reckon I'll go along with that. Ethan Wood, Luke Modward, the runners that just came in to score. And now Isaac Fernandez, the 8 hitter, is now digging in for his first at bat. Hoping to join in on the fun of this first inning for the A's. First pitch misses upstairs. I was going to mention for Edens that he was a part of yesterday's game, but not in the conventional way we're used to seeing him. Usually we'll see him behind the plate or at DH, but he actually got 2 innings of work on the mound yesterday. And you know what? After a couple of batters of settling in, he was looking not too bad out there. Decent velocity and punched out a couple people against the Warriors, NorCal Warriors. That pitch is 2-0 to Fernandez. Quick dribbler back to the backstop, 2-1. This one fouled back to the screen again, 2-2. Well, another long start to the game. We'll see where we'll be at the end of two. But I do recall yesterday through two innings, we had 1 hour of game time elapsed. So far, we're looking about a half hour into this first inning. 2-2 breaks the slider, gets the call on the outside corner. First K there for the Expos, and two down in this inning. Still runners on the corners, and now two down. We'll keep an eye to see if Edens tries to take advantage of second base. That's, for the most part, a free bag in these sort of situations. We saw how it worked out for them earlier in this inning when George Smith went for two and they threw it out into the outfield, letting Miller score easily from third. That first pitch to Perry is a ball, 1-0. Perry no hits yesterday, but two walks and had a sacrifice fly for an RBI. Finds himself early in the hitter's count here, 2-0. Pops this one sky high into foul ground. Is the catcher or the first baseman going to get it? It's the catcher with an acrobatic catch, I guess I'll say. Dives out for that one and gets it done. Unconventional or not, it's the third out of the inning. A's able to bat through the order there, 1 through 9, and they get 4 runs as a result of it. So A's up big early on, going to the top of the second. Guys out for a second inning of work. Breaks in a slider on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Long wait for him in the dugout in between appearances here with that long inning for the A's on offense. We'll see how he does coming out after that long time waiting around. Ball there, 1-1. Ball works inside there, 2-1. And you know what? Thinking about what I just mentioned, it's something that I usually hear from coaches, players, or whatever, but I happen to have two pitchers next to me, so I'm curious about their input. Uh, Ryan Weller and Tyler Gonzalez. You guys think those long innings on offense actually can affect your guys' performance out there for sitting for a while?
Yeah, you don't stay hot. You got to, as long as you stay hot in the dugout, you should be fine.
How do you stay hot in the dugout?
Fans, flyers, you got it in the shoulder. Yeah.
Just a lot of stretching?
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for the input, guys. So if you weren't able to hear that, those pitchers were saying, as a matter of fact, yes, it can affect their performance out on the mound. And what they do to combat that is just stay loose in the dugout and some stretches and things like that. Chopped up to Aiden Perry, fields it over to first in timeout number 1. So Wallace, first out of this inning. D.H. Thornton coming up now. Chopped up the middle. George Smith on the run for it. Gets it on a high hop. Throws it to Ethan Wood. And 1 pitch, 1 out there. 2 down in the top of the second. Ground ball to second. Ground ball to short. So the 2 middle infield positions covered there. We'll see if this one goes up the middle of the Geis, just for symmetrical purposes. Anyways, Eisen coming up now, the third baseman. First pitch to him is foul into the seats. A 1 pitch misses outside. Fernandez trying to steal one there with the frame job, but no go. Geis is 1-1, breaks it in the dirt, watched for ball 2. Geis 2-1 down the pipe. This one's grounded over to Perry again, throws it on to first. 3 up, 3 down, all outs, ground outs, and A's coming back in the dugout for their second at-bats of the game.
I'm shooting for a so good job.
Strike one to start off the bottom of the second inning. Tyson Miller is leading things off. Feels like deja vu of the top of the first in terms of Miller leading things off again. Lays down a bunt. That one is foul. Excuse me.
There's no need for my
It's Miller down 0-2 hole. Last time he was up, of course, led things off with a double. This time, swing and a miss. Much better start to this inning for the Expos. Second strikeouts for Spaliero there of Miller. So George Smith digging in now. Had himself a base knock as well in the first inning. This one is smothered by the third baseman, unable to make the throw, though. That's an infield base hit for George Smith. Back-to-back base knocks to start off his day. Though Regis teammate Ethan Wood digging in right behind George Smith. Base hit for himself. A double, as a matter of fact, in the first inning. Fouls that one back. Already 6 hits for the A's in this one. And there's only been 4 outs recorded so far for them in their batting. Very impressive hitting thus far. Taking that one outside, 1-1. George Smith on the move, swinging a miss from Wood. Throw down to second, not in time. Another stolen base for the speedster Smith there. He settles in at second base. Another RBI potential here for Ethan Wood, but down in the count 1-2. Wild pitch there. Smith's on the move. And now he is at third base. So count now even 2-2 for Wood. Just going to try and do his job and get this ball in play to cash in Smith, most likely. Hard stuff misses outside, fills the count up. Payoff pitch, no go. Breaks into the dirt near his feet. He has first base. Wood takes a free pass. He's at first, Smith at third. Runners on the corners for Scott Mitchell. Scott Mitchell softly lined out to the right fielder in his first at bat. First pitch doesn't chase upstairs, 1-0. Let's go A's. Yes, sir. Thanks for tuning in. Breaks pitch on the outside corner, gets the call. 1-1 drops in for strike two. Ethan Wood dancing at first. Scott Mitchell swings and misses at that one up in the zone. 2 down. Both outs recorded via the strikeout in this inning. Two down with 2 runners on base, up to Luke Navad to cash him in. First time up for him. He drew a walk. Swing and a miss at a pitch low in the zone. Oh, 1 pitch chopped up the middle to the shortstop. Has to play it kind of backhand, and running away from the ball, but able to get it to second base in time to get the force out of Ethan Wood. So a couple of runners on base for the A's in this inning, but no score. Still up 4-0 going to the top of the third.
Bang.
This one chopped over to Luke Navad at third. Fires it over to first in time. Out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out here. That was Gary that grounded out to Navad at third. Interesting streak of 5 groundouts in a row across 3 innings, actually. The first inning ended with ground out, and all 3 outs recorded in the second inning. Ground outs, of course. And then right there, we just saw 1. So 5 in a row. 1 out here for Geis and the A's. This one's chopped up the middle. George Smith's going to be a tough play. Throws it on the run over to first. My goodness, gets him out. That was smooth patrolling in the middle of the infield for George Smith there. Made it look pretty easy, actually, even though it clearly was not. And there you go, 6 ground outs in a row here. Pitchers certainly love strikeouts, but I imagine Zach Geis is not complaining with getting those consecutive outs here. 1 out away from back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. First pitch upstairs, 1-0. 1-0, swinging and miss, loses the bat, almost hits his teammate in the on deck circle. That is Bowen, the leadoff hitter in this lineup, struck out his first time. Geis is 1-1, gets the swing. Yes, it does. First base umpire says so, 1-2. Chopped to the third baseman, Navad. Takes his time, throws over in time, out number 3. There you go. Back-to-back 3 up, 3 down innings and 7 ground outs in a row for Geis and the A's defensively. Looking smooth like butter in the field there, and they're going to the bottom of the third, looking to extend the lead. Bit of a bizarre start here to the bottom of the third. Time just got called by the umpire there. Starting pitcher for the Expos just walked across the backstop to the A's dugout. And now he's just chilling next to the A's dugout. Not too sure what that's about. Mikey Ramirez hits this up the middle, base hit to lead things off.
We're gonna keep the trend going, buddy.
So, needless to say, the Spaliero's day is done.
Eat it.
Hayes Eden's digging in now. Looks like slider breaks in there for a strike to him. First time up for Eden's had a base hit. That was, I do believe, that little dribbler that was hit in the infield and the pitcher tried to scoop up. Breaks a pitch on the inside part of the plate, quickly down 0-2. There goes Ramirez. This one's hit into foul ground, though. First baseman's going for it. Right fielder's going for it. And nobody's going to have that one. Trying to get a name for the pitcher there on the mound. Didn't quite have a complete roster. Swinging a miss there, strikeout of Eden's one down. It appears that there might be a little bit of chirping going on in between the starting pitcher there and the A's dugout. Really bizarre here. Usually you'd expect the pitcher to just be sitting in the dugout watching his teammates and rooting them on for the rest of the game, but he is out of the Expos dugout. He is down the first baseline up top along the top of the concourse of the bottom level of seats here. But we'll return back to the action on the field. Now Ramirez going down to second, throws wide. Ooh, almost able to make the tag on his foot. That throw led him to almost making the tag out, but Ramirez has second base successfully. And thank you for tuning in. And sure, you're happy with Mikey Ramirez's single and stolen base there. He's in scoring position now. Isaac Fernandez looking to drive him in. Hit up the middle, going to hang up for the center fielder. Yes, and Ramirez thought about going to three. That was going to be an aggressive tag up, but he decides best of it. Stays at second base. 2 outs, and Aiden Perry coming up. Pitch in the dirt there, dug out by the catcher. Ramirez not able to steal third on that one. Long look over at Ramirez at second. Another one comes home to Perry. Tries to break it into the top of the zone. No go, though, 2-0. Gets out in front of this one, and it is foul. 2-1. Looks like pitcher on the mound is going to be Amaya now. That's taken over. Two one, fouled over on the left side of the field. Third baseman's running after it, but hits up high on the screen, so no play to be made. 2-2. Ball there taken from Perry. Count goes full 3-2. Tyson Miller waiting on deck here. Payoff pitch from Amaya misses up and out. Perry has a walk. So runners on first and second now for the A's. 2 down. Miller looking to cash in.
Now batting number 4, Tyson Miller.
First pitch in there for a strike. Miller 1 for 2 so far on the morning. Single to start things out. Double actually, or no, I do believe that was a single, but advanced to second on an error. Did he go? Checks with infield. Yes, he did. 0-2. So two, Maya 1 pitch away from getting out of this situation. This one's fouled away to keep it alive at 0-2. Tries looping a curveball though, too high. First ball of the at bat here. Miller trying to work it here and perhaps get a ball in play to score. Ramirez from first or second. This is outside. Count evens up 2-2. George Smith up in the on deck circle looking to get an at bat as well and keep the good times and hitting going 2-for-2 on the day. Miller able to reach out and just spoil that one. That was certainly a 2-strike approach and swing. Two to Miller, sent out to right field. It's a fly ball that has the right fielder on the run, backpedaling. He's got it though, and that'll end the inning. Base hit and a walk leads to some traffic on the bases, but Expo's able to hold the Athletics at bay. Still 4-0 going to the top of the fourth. All right, well, top of the fourth, guy's still out there for looking for his fourth inning of work. As mentioned, we have that 7 ground ball or ground out streaks. First pitch, good depth on that one, gets a swing and a miss. So yeah, just to finish off what happened there at the bottom of the third inning, I've been able to get information and context on that. The starting pitcher, as you saw through the frame, as this one's hit up the middle, Miller is able to settle under it for out number 1. Starting pitcher walked across the backstop there right when play was about to start for the bottom of the third, and A's were going to bat. Walks in front of the Athletics dugout, hops into the dugout, and just kind of sits there. And then after that, gets out of the dugout next to the netting. Umpire called time because he noticed that was going on. And then from what I heard, he was just not saying nice things, let's just call it. And yeah, now just on the first base concourse, watching the game from up there instead of in the dugout with his team. But anyways, 1-0 count now to the new batter. Now 2-0. So that was Chavez that flew out to center. Now this is Robinson, the sole base hit for the Expos today. Good pitch there from Geis with the location, but doesn't get the favor of the umpire, and he is behind in this one, 3-0. Gets back into it with that one, 3-1. Hit up to foul ground in right field. Mikey Ramirez on the move for that one. He's got it for out number 2. Game of trends going on here in this game. That was a fly out to center, fly out to right. So we'll see if we get a fly out to left to end things here in the 4th inning. Cleanup hitter Martinez coming up. First time up for him. He grounded out to third. Do believe that was Luke Nevada's diving grab and then throw over to first in time. First pitch gets the call at the bottom of the zone, 1-0-1. Down in the dirt, taken for ball 1. Paints the low and inside corner, 1-2. Nice looking for that final punch out pitch to end the 4th inning. Doesn't get it there, misses outside, 2-2. Two down the pipe, a little flare shot. Luke Nevada able to catch that one. Oh my goodness. What a drag that I had the camera facing first base on that one. Sorry for that, folks. But Luke Nevada just made an insane jump and catch on that one. Second defensive gem for him in today's game, and that'll end the inning. So that'll be it for the top of the fourth. A's coming up bottom of the fourth, looking to cash in some more runs. Leading off the bottom of the fourth, Wolf dribbler foul 0-1. That is George Smith. 2 for 2 on the day, couple of base knocks, couple of stolen bases. Looking to make that 3 for 3 on the day. 0-1 pitch to him, taken low and away. Swing and a miss at the slider. He was ahead of that one, 1-2. High and outside, ball 2. Two. Little dribbler over on the right side of the field. Flips over to the pitcher just in time to get Smith out number 1. Now that'll bring up Ethan Wood, 1 for 1 on the day. RBI double and a walk. Hits this one down, or pops it up, I should say, to the third baseman. He's got it for out number 2. 1 pitch, 1 out of Ethan Wood there. 2 down in this inning. Scott Mitchell now digging in. Mitchell 0 for 2 on the day. Line out in the first, strikeout in the second. Strike 1 here in the third. Fourth, excuse me. 0-1 pitch. Slider misses away. 1-1. Fastball doesn't get the call. Good location there from Amaya. 2-1. Breaks in a slider there, but again, too low. Hardly no wind in the ballpark today. This feels still and hot. This one fouled into the stands. So with that foul ball count, now it goes full 3-2. Up in the zone, Mitchell protecting fouls that one as well. Chopped up the middle, first baseman knocks it down with his glove, has to run after it, tosses it over to first in time for out number 3. First 3 up, 3 down inning for the Expos on defense, and they'll be getting up to bat in the top of the 5th. Still looking for their first runs and trying to charge a comeback. Top of the 5th, guy still on the mound. First pitch that he throws to Wallace in there for a strike. 0-1. Good spot on that one. Doesn't get the call though. 1-1.
Love you, don't.
Misses there. 2-1. How many pitches is he at? Thank you. Just hit the 50th pitch here in the 5th inning. Good job by guys keeping that pitch count down. And for the record, the A's offense, they've made some really good slick plays on defense here this morning. Breaks in the slider there for a strike. 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's Geis's first strikeout since the first inning. Third on the afternoon. 1 down in the top of the 5th. Thornton, the batter now. First pitch taken in there for a strike. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Boy, Thornton looks like really committed at that. He was swinging really early and just not able to touch that one up. 0-2. Swing and a miss, challenges him right down the pipe. Back-to-back Ks in this inning. Fourth of the outing for Geis. He's rolling 2 down. So third baseman Isom digging in now. 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out to Aiden Perry in the second inning. First pitch chopped over to Luke Navad. Dives for it yet again and throw over. It's offline this time, though. So Expos get their first base runner since the first inning. That's a base hit. I'm a little skeptical on that scoring decision. Was a tough play to be made, but the throw could have been there in time and was thrown away. But I'll go ahead and follow along with the scorekeepers. It'll be ruled a single for Esom. So runner on first now, and the catcher Gary now digging in. 0 for 1 on the day, ground out to third base. Curveball looped into the outfield. It's a base hit. Miller on the run for it. There goes Esom to third base. He'll be in there safely. So back-to-back base hits here for the Expos. A little bit of something going on in the fifth inning. They got runners on the corners now, still 2 down. And Monis, the shortstop, will be coming up. Swing and a miss at the first pitch there. Expos have already tripled, I reckon, their hit total from the whole game in this inning, from 1 to 3. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Runs one inside there, but able to get a piece of it is Monis. Count remains 0-2. Long pause here. Guys taking a couple peeks at first. Comes home. 0-2. It drills him. He loses bonus. He'll be on his way to first base. And now bases are loaded. Prime opportunity for the Expos to get their first runs of the game and get the deficit down here, work it back into the game. And it'll be the leadoff hitter, Bowen, coming up. Still no walks here for Geis in this start, but first free pass in a way issued there with the hit by pitch. So he'll reset against Bowen. First pitch misses outside. Fouled into the seats, 1-1. Oh, and 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out in the first and grounded out in the third. Geis is 1-1 down the pipe. Gets the strike 1-2. Geis is 1-2. Challenges him up and in. Gets the foul ball into the seats. Umpire signaling he's going to need more balls here soon. Bowen digging back in the 1-2 count. Pitcher coming back from the bullpen there. Looks like that could be Cal Noonan. That might be coming in here soon. Umpire doesn't think he went. So 2-2. Not sure if they appealed to the infield umpire there or not, but it's called a ball. Two-two, swing and a miss down in the low part of the zone. Geis records all 3 outs via the strikeout this inning. Gets in a bases loaded jam, works out of it there with that strikeout of Bowen. Still no runs on the board for the Expos and A's. Coming up to bat halfway home in this one. Bottom of the 5th, Luke Navad leading things off here. He's had a hot game with the glove. looking to contribute with the at bat now. 0 for 1 on the day. Ended up getting a walk and scoring in the first inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Expos. We'll check with Game Changer to see what the name is. As mentioned, don't have a complete roster for today's game, just the lineup. Starting lineup, that is. 2-0 is the count to Nevada. Swing, foul tip into the glove, 2-1. Looks to be Alfaro that's on the mound now for the Expos. So that was 2 innings of work for Amaya. His day's done. This one shot out to right field. A bit of an awkward catch there for the right fielder, but nonetheless makes it for the first out. One down, Mikey Ramirez coming up. 2 for 2 on the day for him. Couple of base knocks and a single, or a stolen base, that is. First pitch to Ramirez on the outside part of the plate. Called a strike, though. This umpire sure does like to make delayed strike calls. Hit out to left center field. Left fielder able to make a catch on that. 2 up, 2 down real quick here for the Expos on defense. Fly out to right, fly out to left. And now Hayes Eden's digging in. 1 for 2 on the day. Had single in the first inning, struck out in the third. Slider in there for strike. Tries to break another one in there. This one misses inside, 1-1. So there has been some traffic on bases for the A's, such as the second inning and the third inning. But still not able to get any runs on the board since the first inning. 4 runs across 9 batters in that inning. Now, bunch of goose eggs on the board. That is helping the flow of game, though, in terms of time, since we do have a time limit at noon. Entering the halfway point, we were just about over the hour-and-a-half mark. And after the first inning, we were at about 40 to 45 minutes. It's 2-2 now, the count to Eden's pitch on the way. Down the pipe, hammered pretty well through the 5-6 hole. That's a base hit. Eden's going to settle in at first base there. Second base hit for him on the day, so that'll make him 2 for 3. Isaac Fernandez, the catcher, coming up to the plate now. Looks like we'll have our first potential substitution of the day, too. Brian Sanders on deck. That would be for Aiden Perry. Foul tip by Fernandez goes off the catcher's chest protector, 0-1. Alfaro checks on Edens there briefly. Edens with a very short lead off, so he won't be heading anywhere. Loops in the off speed up high and into Fernandez, 1-1. Fernandez 0 for 2 thus far, strikeout and a lineout. One hit through the 5-6 hole yet again. That's another base hit. Edens and Fernandez going through the same gap, and runners on first and second. That will officially bring up Brian Sanders up to bat. Going to be a quick timeout for the catcher and pitcher here. Sanders will take Perry's place in the order, 9th spot, and will most likely be taking over duties at second base. Sanders was able to get on base twice yesterday as he takes that pitch for a strike. Fielder's choice he ended up scoring on and walked in his last at bat. Oh, late strike ball on that one. I was prepared to call that a ball inside, but Sanders down 0-2 now. Barr quickly checks out Edens now twice. Now comes home to Sanders. Breaks off speed off the plate. Sanders able to watch that one go by. Top of the lineup on deck. That's Tyson Miller in the on deck circle. Alfaro's 1-2. Gets the swing and a miss on Sanders. That ends the inning. So a little bit of traffic on base for the A's, but still not able to come up with runs since the first inning. They are still up 4-0 in this one as we head to the 6th. Top of the sixth, that guy still out there seeking a sixth inning of work. Already in quality start range for him. First pitch in for a strike. 2-3-4 due up here for the Expos. First batter being Chavez. Tries to paint outside. No love from the umpire. 1-1. Chavez 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a flyout. And a little bit of action going on yet again in the bullpen. That is Cal Noonan warming up. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Noonan had a start earlier this week. Worked a solid game for him and one of the many wins this week with quality starts from the pitchers. This one's grounded to Ethan Wood. He'll take it all the way for out number 1. Hasn't been too many groundouts as of late, but still curious to see how many groundouts we've had in this game. So going into the 6th inning, that means 16 outs have been recorded, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 15 outs have been ground outs. And that's the second hit by pitch by Geis. That one slips out of the hand. Robinson is going to take first base. One down, runner on first here. Martinez, cleanup hitter, going to be digging in.
Now that is number 14, 14.
Martinez behind on that one, fouls it into the stands. Geis agrees on the pitch call here. Couple of peeks over at Robinson at first. Now the 0-1 swung on and missed on the outside part of the plate. 0-2. Brings him up low and inside. Martinez takes the walk back to the dugout. Crooked K. And that is the 6th strikeout of Geis's day. 2 down. Center fielder Wallace coming in now trying to get Robinson moved around those bases. First pitch misses outside. Fernandez held the ball for a second, almost looked like he was curious to do a back pick, but decides not to. One 0 in the dirt. Good block by Fernandez to keep Robinson at bay. 2-0. Challenges him down in the pipe, up in the zone, swing and a miss. Two one outside, 3-1. Geis in trouble not in trouble, but in danger of walking his first batter of the day. And there it is, first walk of Geis's outing. Wallace will take first base, Robinson on to second, and a little bit of action going on here for the Expos. Coach Wyatt Featherston out to the mound. It might just be a straight pull here for Cal Noonan, not even just a visit from the pitching coach. We'll wait and see what the decision is as Cal Noonan is warming up in the bullpen. One would think Geis is going to stay on the mound with how long Coach Featherston's been talking to him, and that is the case. Featherston keeps him out on the mound for at least this. Batter wants to see him get out of this inning and complete 6. And he's going to be tasked with doing that against the DH Thornton. First pitch is hammered there down the line, but foul. That was a heck of a rip from Thornton. Oh, 1 just gets a piece of it back to the backstop. 0-2. Good spot for Geis here after walking Wallace. Umpire shows good to play. Geis is set. Comes home. Slider away, 1-2. Isaac Fernandez with yet another good block there to keep the runners at bay. Thornton digging back in now, 1-2. Ethan Wood playing a little bit in on the infield grass. So is Navad. Fouled away yet again. Swing and a miss. Yes, he did. And Fernandez applies the tag to make sure he's out. Geis able to get out of that one. 7 strikeout there for Geis. 6 complete innings for him. Good stuff from the young man from Stanislaus State. And it still remains 4-0 going to the bottom of the 6th. Tyson Miller leads things off in the bottom of the sixth. Fourth at bat here for him today. Has a single and struck out. Takes that one upstairs 2-0. Tries to sit back on that one, gets a piece of it on the inside of the bat to the screen, 2-1. Watches this one in for a ball. Umpire was squatting there for a long time. It seems like he was trying to decide whether he wanted to call it a strike or a ball. Or maybe just hitting reps for squats, who knows? But 3-1. That one in the dirt. So ball 4 for Tyson Miller, leadoff walk. That'll bring up George Smith up to the plate. Tyson Miller able to steal second base there successfully. George Smith looked to be showing bunt there, but pulled back. So calling the pitch there was a ball, 1-0. And Smith has an opportunity to cash in a ribby here with Miller at second base. Shows bunt again, pulls away outside. This one sent out to left field, sends him on the run, but he'll park under it for the out. Miller thinks to tag up, but doesn't, stays at second. One down after the fly out to left. Ethan Woods coming up now. Double and an RBI for him already on the day. Did get on base as well with a walk. Fouls that one to the screen. So 9 hits on the day for the A's thus far. That's certainly a number you'd be pleased with at the end of the game. We're only in the 6th inning. Still scoreless since that first inning, though. Only crooked number up on that board. After that, it's all goose eggs on both sides. Clean game defensively there, too, for the A's. No errors. This one slashed out to left field for a base hit. Is Miller going to be aggressive? He is. Left fielder slipped, though, so it's not going to make it a close play at home. Miller's in, and just right on cue with talking about scoreless since the first. The A's cash in a run with that RBI single by Ethan Wood. Miller's in to score 5-0 A's.
At bat number 15.
Drops the first pitch in for a strike to Mitchell. Mitchell 0 for 3 on the day, is still looking for his first base hit. looks to be one of 3 people that have not gotten a base hit. That'll remain the same as he flies out to left field there, and Ethan Wood will return back to first base.
Next 48. Number 12.
So 2 down, Luke Navad looking to continue things in this inning. Walk in a scored run for him. He was the 4th and final run of that first inning. First pitch he sees is for a ball. Alfaro's 1-0 taken in for a strike. Noonan still warming up. Well, right when I was going to say he's still warming up on the mound, looks like he's going to walk it in now. Good chance we'll see him take things over here in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss from Navad, 1-2. Seen a lot of substitutions this week from head coach White Featherston, but not seeing too many today. Saw Sanders come in for Perry, but that is it thus far in terms of position players. 1-2 pitch is hammered on by Navad, but in foul ground to the Expos bullpen. Little conference there on the mound in between pitcher and catcher. Now gets back behind the dish. Navad digging back in. 1-2 the count. Mikey Ramirez on deck, hoping to get a crack at it in this inning. Calls a swing on that one. Luke Navad out on the breaking ball. That'll end things in this inning. A's able to come up with 1 run and extends their lead 5-0 going to the top of the 7th. New pitcher on the mound here, Cal Noonan for the A's. Quickly down 2-0 in his first at bat to Isan. Misses outside again. Quickly down 3-0 to his first batter. Feeling a lot hotter here at the ballpark at this point. A little bit of breeze starting to come in, though, thankfully. 3-0 count. Gets the inside call. Noonan into his stretch and misses outside with that one. That's a wild pitch, ball 4. So it took until the 6th inning for Geis to walk a batter. It only takes one batter for Noonan to walk one. And now that'll bring up Hayes. Excuse me, I'm on the athletic side. But yeah, still correct. It took until the 6th inning there for Geis to walk a batter, and still for now first batter for Noonan. That pitch is outside, ball 1. Wanted to pull up Game Changer to get a recap of Geis's day. That's 6 hits there for Geis, 3 hits, no runs allowed, 1 walk to 7 Ks. Solid stuff for that guy. Noonan looking to find his rhythm here in this outing. Was really good early this week as a starter. 1-1 misses way high and outside, 2-1. Yanks this one in the dirt. Back pick by Fernandez, and now he's got the runner in a pickle. Throw down to second. Sanders bobbles it and drops it. That's going to be safe. That was a great opportunity for an out there for the Athletics, but it is not taken advantage of. And Eason able to get to second base on a pickle there. Calling the pitch was ball though, so 3-1. Pitch high in the zone, fouled into the seats. Count goes full. Takes peek at second, comes home, misses outside and high, ball 4, back-to-back walks to start his outing, and some life going on here for the Expos. First pitch to the new batter in the top of the zone for a strike. Monis is digging in here, looking to drive in their first runs of the ball game. Lefty on righty matchup. Noonan takes a peek. Back at second, comes home, swing and a miss on the outside part of the plate. And Noonan in a good situation for his outing here. Gets down 0-2 first time in the inning, looking to finish it off for out number 1. He does. Great depth on that pitch. Drops below the bat for his first strikeout and out number 1. Pinch hitter here for Bowen at the top of the lineup. PA announcer doesn't have the name. I don't have the name either, so we'll just go with number 3. Being told it's Mark Thompson. So Thompson digging in then. 0-0 count. Curveball swung on and missed for a strike there, 1-1. Swing and a miss there. Another curveball, 1-2. Tries to go outside, doesn't get the call, 2-2. Rings him up, low and inside part of the corner, strikeout. Noonan's getting a feel for it out there now. Back-to-back Ks. This time is a backwards K. So 2 down, and Noonan trying to strand those base runners on base. Gonna have to do it against Chavez, the 2-hole hitter. First pitch on the way, curveball swing and a miss. It's looking like a heavy dose of curveballs from Noonan at the moment. Pitch number 2 to Chavez. Another curveball gets the call high and outside. Chavez didn't agree with that one, so we'll shake at the head. But he is down 0-2. Noonan 1 away from getting out of this jam. This one lifted over Sanders' head, a base hit. This might be the first run of the game. Throw is coming in home. Did he get him? No, umpire says he wasn't able to put on the tag. Close play at the plate. Throw from Ramirez was a little bit up that third base line. Runner was just getting past Fernandez when he was going to make the tag. Looked like he might have got him on the back, but ruling is safe. First runs of the game for the Expos, 5-1. So still runners first and second here. Chavez has himself an RBI single, and Gary is at second now. Easton was the one that came in to score. First pitch to the new batter Robinson is in there for a strike. Noonan comes home, second pitch. Fernandez tries to get the frame job in there, but no go, 1-1. A little bit of action going on in the bullpen. Might be Matthew Lopez warming up down there. Swing and a miss on the curveball, 1-2. Runners on the move here, swing and a miss. That does it. Noonan gets all three outs himself via the strikeout. The Expos do get their first runs of the game, but still down 4 as we hit the 7th inning stretch, going to the bottom of the 7th. Bit of a short delay there to start the bottom of the seventh, but now we're rocking and rolling. Mikey Ramirez, first batter, pops this up a mile high into shallow right center field. Right fielder goes for it and got it, one down. So the one down, Hayes Edens now digs in. Breaks a curveball way off the plate, 1-0. Long pause here, and now comes home. That one tails inside towards Edens, 2-0. Swing and a miss, foul tip in the glove actually as 2-1. Very nice breeze flowing through the ballpark here to make things feel a little more fresh. Wind's blowing out to left field. That's strike two. Jose Fernandez is the batter on deck. Swing and a miss from Edens. That'll strike him out. 2 up, 2 down so far for the A's in the bottom of the seventh. Fernandez 1 for 3 on the day, able to get a base hit his last time up. That's a swing and a miss there. New pitcher on the mound for the Expos, Ramos, coming into the game now. So it looks like they're going 2 innings apiece here for their pitchers. 2 innings each for 3 pitchers at this point. We'll see if Ramos ends up closing things out here. Although if this leads holds, it'll only be 2 innings for him with the A's not coming up to bat in the ninth. That one was fouled by Fernandez, 0-2. Takes that one for a ball. Catcher signals good pitch, good location. This one laced through the 5-6 hole. Another base hit for Fernandez. Do believe his first base hit of this game was through the exact same 5-6 hole. So rinse repeat for him. 2 base hits on the day, 2 out base hit right there. And Ryan Sanders coming up looking to join the hit club here today. There's a lot of them. 11 hits with that one from Fernandez. Sanders' first time up, he struck out. There's a check swing on that one, but no swing is the ruling. 1-0 to Sanders. Loops in the curveball for a strike. 1-1, chopped weekly. This one's going to roll foul, 1 and 2. On pause there, fetching foul ball, but now we're back here. Ramos comes set 1-2. Pitch to Sanders, misses down and away. Loops it a curveball, dribbler foul. Tyson Miller there to pick it up. Count remains even at 2-2. This one chopped to the third baseman, fields it on the hop, throws over to first. That's in time for out number 3. 2-out base hit from Fernandez, but nothing doing in terms of the scoreboard there. A's still up 5-0, going top of the 8th. Fly ball down the left field on the run for it's Mitchell. He's got it for out number 1. Long fly out. That was Martinez that flew out into foul ground. Wallace, the center fielder, coming up for his 4th at bat. 0 for 2, but did get a walk in the 6th. Meeting coming out for Coach Wyatt Featherston. This might be the end of the day for Cal Noonan. I do see movement coming from the bullpen, so I do believe it is going to be the end of Nope. Signaling them to go back to the bullpen. So Noonan's going to remain on the mound. He might see out this 8th inning. Not too sure what the play is for Coach Wyatt Featherston. That's Matthew Lopez over there in the bullpen, so we might see him come on to close things out in the 9th. Did so earlier this week. Noonan's first pitch to the new batter is a ball. 1-0 loops the curveball on the outside part. 1-1. This is a little weak flare over towards the bullpen foul ball. Less than 30 minutes away from our hard 12 o'clock cutoff. Should be able to fit this in just fine. This one's pieced out pretty well into shallow right center field. Miller tosses it in to keep him at first base, but nice piece of hitting there for Wallace. He gets a base hit. First for him on the day, and the 5th of the day for the Expos. All right, so Coach Wyatt Featherston now coming out, gave Noonan one more batter, ends up being a base knock. So Matthew Lopez will be coming into the game now. We'll be right back after warm-ups. Swing and a miss for Thornton there. First pitch from Lopez in for that strike. So Lopez likely going to come on for a 5-out close job here. Swing and a miss up in the zone, 0-2. So for Noonan, just ends up being 1 1/3 innings pitched. 0-2 chased upstairs. It's going to be out of play. Oh, and 2 breaks slider off the plate. Doesn't get the call though. One-two pitch up and in. Count goes even. That's a long pause. Lopez comes set. Takes a quick peek to first, comes home. Skied in the air. Who's going to get it? Looks to be Luke Navad. Yes, he does. Didn't really have to move at all from third base. Out number 2.
Number 20. Colton Tyson.
Tyson now coming up for the Expos, playing the hot corner today. Ended up working a leadoff walk last inning and is responsible for the 1 run on the board for the Expos after getting himself into a pickle from the back pick, but ended up getting the second safely and ended up being driven in with a Chavez RBI single. 1-0 goes to 1-1. Curveball hit back towards the stands. It is off of the screen, unable to get it as Fernandez 1 and 2. One, two, Lopez up the way, right down the pipe, challenges him and gets him. Strikeout to end the inning here, and A's are 3 outs away from the win. But first, looking to get some extra insurance runs on the board. They're up 5-1. First pitch of the bottom of the eighth, taken for a ball by Tyson Miller. Miller with the single to lead things off in the first. That's a strike, 1-1. Also got on base last time up with a walk, stole a base, and he scored twice today. Fouled over to pitching coach Ethan Winter. Count evens up 2-2 to Miller. Just had a little bit of a delay there. Baseball rolled right up to the communication table. That was interesting. Opposite field base hit for Miller. That's just how he started out this game. This time, the left fielder able to handle the ball in front of him, so it'll keep Miller at first base with a single. George Smith digging in now. 2 base hits for him on the day. Scored once. And, of course, stole a couple bags. He's usually good for that. Each game takes that one for a ball, 1-0. One zero up in the zone. Smith misses at that one. 1-1. Checks over at first. That might have got Miller. No, safe just in time. Miller looked like he was leaning a little bit there, but able to escape getting picked off. Checks again on Miller. Safe. Back-to-back pickoff attempts unsuccessful. We'll see if Alfaro decides to come home this time to Smith. Yes, he does. 1-1 pitch is a ball. Loops curveball. That one misses though, high and outside. Hitters count here for Smith. 3-1. Down the pipe. That's a strike. Throw hits the top of the mound and rolls over to second to get Miller. That was bizarre. That looked like that almost skipped off the back part of the rubber or just the back part of the mound. The throw was spiked by the catcher, but almost accelerated the throw, rolling over to second to get Miller in time. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Two of the players next to me were saying it picked up speed once it hit the ground. That seems exactly what happens. Maybe that's the new method for throwing down the second. George Smith able to work a walk, so base runner back on base. One down, Ethan Wood digging in. First pitch to Ethan Wood, taken for a strike, 0-1. Yeah, we'll have to see if we could clip that or how it looks on our feed, because that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that in terms of that throw down to second. But it certainly pays off for the Expos. Ethan Wood fouled that one off, 0-2. Expos wouldn't mind a double play ball here. In the dirt there goes Smith down to second in time for the stolen base. Ball there from Alfaro works the count to 2-2. Wood, couple of base hits for him today. RBI double in the first, RBI single in the sixth. 2-2 pitch upstairs, 3-2. 3 straight balls after getting down 0-2 in the count. Payoff pitch on the way, swing and a miss from Wood. He's down on strikes. 2 down in this inning. Scott Mitchell will work his way into the box.
Now batting number 15. Mitchell.
Mitchell 0 for 4 on the day. A variety of outs for him today. A line out in the first, a strikeout in the second, a ground out in the fourth, and a fly out in the sixth. Not too sure how many forms of outs there might be left to achieve there, but I know for sure he's wanting to get a base hit here and knock in George Smith. George Smith's on the move to third. Throw down is not in time. Wasn't that bad of a throw, but it was not where it needed to be to try and get Smith. Speedster Smith was probably going to be in there safe anyways. 1-1 the count now to Mitchell. Outside corner on their first strike, 1-2. Alfaro's 1-2, loops it in the strike zone. That's a strikeout looking for Mitchell and the end of the 8th inning. So that's it for the A's offensive chances before this top of the 9th. They're going to have to get 3 outs to secure the win. Matthew Lopez will be coming out back on the bump, 3 outs to get. Matthew Lopez, first pitch is a ball. Batter for the Expos leading things off is Gary. He is 1 for 2 on, or 1 for 2 on the day. Had a base hit and
Maybe
a
Isaac.
walk. Hit right up the middle. Miller was playing a bit of a shift, but able to get back to true center to catch that for out number 1. Getting the scoreboard adjusted for y'all. There we go. We are now accurate to the game time. Shortstop Monis, 9-hole hitter, is coming up now. 0 for 2 on the day. Did reach on a hit by pitch in the 5th inning. Lopez, first pitch, curves in there for a strike. Oh, 1 upstairs. 1-1. Lopez 1-1 pitch, lined right at George Smith. Nice pick with the glove. Throws it over to first base. Good pick from Ethan Wood in time for the out. Beautiful play on both sides of the ball. Those 2 Regis teammates there coming together to make some magic with the glove. 2 down. Two down, 1 more out to get here for the Athletics. And it's going to be Thompson digging in for his second at bat. Looking to extend this game and perhaps spark a late 2-out rally. First pitch from Lopez is taken for a strike. Expos did have their chance. They ended up getting Zach Geis bases loaded in the 5th inning, but were unable to capitalize on that. As a matter of fact, they only scored their first run in the 7th inning. It's a good chance, really, for them to get back in the ball game in the 5th, but not capitalizing on those opportunities has led to a 4-run deficit with 1 out remaining of the ball game. Lopez got him down 0-2, 1 strike remaining, as a matter of fact. Pitch on the way, just gets a piece of it foul. Oh, 2 pitch way upstairs from Lopez, 1-2. This one hit up the middle. Sanders tries to get it. He can't, though. Just goes over him. Thompson settles in with a 2-out single and keeps the game alive just for the moment. Sixth hit of the game for the Expos. Looking to string along a few more of those to make this game exciting. Chavez digging in. First pitch to him, down in the zone for a ball. Last time up for Chavez had the RBI single. Sole RBI awarded on the day for them. Swing and a miss, up in the zone. Full half swing there to get it fouled to the screen. 1-2. Lopez again gets it down to 1 strike before the ball game. Sticking back in on the mound. Thompson takes his lead. Lopez is set. Chopped on the ground to George Smith. He's going to flip it over to Sanders. That is the final out of the game and another A's win. So A's sweep this week with the 5-1 win here today. And they swept the 3-game series against the NorCal Warriors. Talking about today's game, though, Athletics, 5 hits on 12 hits and 1 error. As for the Expos, it's 1 run on 6 hits and 2 errors. Both those errors coming in the first inning of the ball game. So they took on SoCal earlier this week, got it done. Took on NorCal this week, got it done. Took on the Central Valley today, got it done. A's are 20-6 on the season now, and we do have a day off tomorrow, so no baseball. But looking at the schedule ahead, we have 2 games against the San Francisco Seals here at home, Tuesday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. So reminder, it will be in the evening as opposed to most of our games being in the morning. So Thursday then will be our travel day to get up to Medford, and we'll have ourselves our second away series of the year at Medford Rogues. All 3 game times are slated for 6:35. Thank you as always for tuning in to A's Baseball. A's win yet again, and they are on a roll to start this second half of the season.